Hi, thanks, friends, for tuning in to another exciting episode of The Spiritual Scientist. You're here with Victor Hamza, and we have some interesting things for you coming at you live. So, thanks for tuning in. If you're getting to this later, thanks for watching. There's some really crazy things going on, so hold on to your hats and keep your socks on so they don't blow off with all this information that came out with all this information that came out today. So I'm gonna give you some information. It's really gonna be insane. So again, buckle up. Here we go, and let's play the theme song. I don't really have a theme song, so if you want to send me one, maybe we'll come up with something. So without further ado, I'm going to get right into this stuff. And I think you're going to be very interested. No one else is bringing this kind of information but me. So, I put down in the title here North Korea is having some kind of here. North Korea is having some kind of glitches going on in the Matrix, multiverse stuff. Very interesting. What's going on? Okay, we're going to get right into that, and I'll project a couple theories, tell you about a couple other things. Maybe before I get to that, let's talk for a minute about what's going on. We had that big that rock, that Omar Kununa, a rock that was going through the our galaxy here and going through, and people were looking at it. And now Yale, I believe it's Harvard University, is saying maybe it was a spaceship. It seems to accelerate when it was coming out. It was slingshotting around the Earth and it seemed to accelerate. So that we have something crazy going on. We have some new exoplanets that they discovered lately. I've been looking into the Tau Ceti. That's the closest in spectrum to the sun's spectrum of the sun. So it looks very similar. It's 70% too similar to the sun. It's 12 light years away. And back in 2012, they discovered that there's 4 planets around it and 2 within the habitable zone. So that's very interesting. I would say if we're going to go inhabit another galaxy and you need a planet to do that, then that would be one to center on for now. But as I said in my last couple of videos, there were some interesting things going around with Alpha Centauri, and check my last episodes if you're into that kind of stuff. Anyway, so we have that. We have the James Webb telescope still going up, 2020. Elon Musk saying that he was going to go to Mars. Still talking about that. And right now, Tesla is the #1 selling car in the United States. The other car manufacturers are scratching heads going, how's he doing it? How's he doing it? So interesting stuff going on in the news. Very topical today. As of today, North Korea says they're readying a very special weapon that they're not being bad guys, but they're a dictatorship and they have a new special secret weapon, but don't worry about it. It's just what we're doing, right? So a little weird going on there. So let's delve into that, and that's why you're tuning in. So I do all these live, so please excuse me if I look down at some of my notes. So we have something that's really crazy at this juncture going on. The individual, I'm going to talk about this one, 2017. Individual was detained by North Korea. He was on the border, an American on the border. His name, Bruce Byron Lawrence. BRUCE, BYRONLOWRANCE. You're with me, right? Bruce Byron Lawrence. That's his name. Late 50s. In November 14th, 2017, he was around the border on the edge, camping for a couple of days, right? Check this out. 48-year-old from Louisiana. His name on his passport is Lawrence Bruce Byron. That's the name of his passport. They spell it backwards, right? Before deportation, he got deported. This was right around, follow me here, when you remember North Korea last year, that there was this guard that escaped and got shot, uh, many times riddled with holes, right? But ended up being that he did not, he survived, and then he got away, right? That was the big news on the same day that this gentleman, very strangely enough, was on the border and was captured by the North Koreans, right? So we have Bruce Byron Lawrence. He was camping. What's an American doing camping over there? Very strange, very sketchy. Um, he was camping on the border edge, and his name on his passport again is Lawrence Bruce Byron. Before he got let go, almost a year to the day, okay, he said before when he was sitting with them, that he knew a lot of people in the Trump organization, and he wanted to be a bridge between the North Koreans and the United States. So that's why he was there, he said, as a bridge. But yet he's camping up in the woods, so obviously a crazy guy, or is he? So this is going to, again, hang on to your hats. There's some crazy stuff coming. So Bruce Byron Lawrence, I said his name now 3 times, I'm counting. We're going to say it a couple more times, and you'll see why in a minute. He was from Louisiana, just an American, just saying that he was knowing people high up. President of the United States, he's saying to the North Koreans, he's going to bridge somehow the different. Hello, can you hear me? There we go. So this is, maybe the Matrix is fighting back. Ooh, watch out. So we have Bruce Byron Lawrence detained after crossing North Korea. Okay, this is today's news. You could check it out. North Korea just said a year later, almost to the day, excuse my handshaking. This is big news. That's not why my handshaking, but a gentleman was on the border. North Korea, another American, separate individual. On the border, detained. October 16th, detained. Being released today, almost a year to the day. He's saying he was under manipulation from the CIA, giving incoherent testimony. Another crazy American, right? He said that he could contribute in some way to actually North Korea itself. Maybe he wanted to defect. Maybe he's trying to be some kind of another guy, wanted to be a bridge between the countries. He's saying he's under manipulation from the CIA. Late 50s. Guess what? His name, separate individual, Bruce Byron Lawrence. Lowrance. Exact same spelling. 2 50-year-olds, both on the border, almost a year to the day, on the North Korean border, both apprehended, both being released almost to the day, okay? And they're both saying that they're going to be a bridge from North Korea to the United States. This one, the one that's in the news today, said he's under manipulation of the CIA. Now, guys, I just do my research. So I researched this. They both have the same name. They're both from the US. They both have the same, almost the same age, okay? What's going on, right? There's a glitch. There's a glitch. There's a multiverse glitch going on, obviously, right? We know this. This is pretty obvious. So I want to go over this a little bit more. Bruce Byron Lawrence, Lowrance, the same name for two separate Americans on the border from North Korea to South Korea, both being apprehended, both being released along major news days almost a year to the day. I mean, if I was the North Koreans and I had any inkling from one day to the next, I would be crapping my pants. I'd be like, we got crazy Americans on the border, we're apprehending, and on their passports, they, and we're doing the research, they all have the same first, middle, and last name, all same ages, from the same country, different circumstances, different people. How freaky is that, right? So, what? 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 Are you with me? What? Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up at this point. Come on. What the heck is going on? So, what could that be? You're going to yourself. How could the two Americans, same name, a year apart, it's a very, very, very like interesting points in time, both coming up. Okay, what's going on? So, very, very strange stuff. Of course, I went into my other video almost a year ago. Maybe that was a year ago to the day. We should check that. I got a lot of hits that people were interested in. I said North Korea moved, and I admitted it, right? North Korea moved from near, it was near the Philippines, and now it's near Japan, right? Makes me crazy for saying that. No, it's truth. So that changed. Now we have this guy showing up. So could there be some kind of a multiverse thing where a year from now, another guy named Bruce Byron Lawrence is going to show up on the border separately, saying he wants to be a bridge between North Korea and South Korea, being incoherent and saying he's like an ambassador between the countries? Could that be going on? I don't know. Now, it wouldn't surprise me at this point. What are the odds, right? What are the odds? 1,000,000,000 to 1? A zillion to 1? Doesn't make sense. When I was Googling this story a little bit, very strange, I came up with something in South Africa. I just have to mention it. In South Africa, okay, there's Bruce Byron is the president of a company called Lawrence. Okay, it's a fish finder system, and what they could do is it's a very powerful fish finder system. What it does is they take these sonars and they actually, you could go, it says up to 50 knots. It does low, medium, and high ranges, and it actually goes into the water to find the fish. You're going up to 50 knots, he says. Very powerful systems, sending out sonar frequencies through the ocean. And then, you know, it's pinging and bouncing back, making these high frequency sounds in the water. And his name is Bruce Byron with the Lawrence Company. Could that have something to do with this? Could those high frequencies with the Lawrence, with Bruce Byron, be creating somehow these doppelgangers that are walking into North Korea being all dazed and confused, not knowing what's going on, but thinking there's some kind of bridge? Is the Matrix glitching? Is the Matrix glitching that way to try to fill in some kind of weird gap? Is that what's going on? For you guys that are joining us, there's two individuals that are both apprehended by North Koreans, both released, called Bruce Byron Lawrence, both the same name. almost a year apart to the day. Strange stuff. You know, if I was a conspiracy theorist, anybody listening? If I was a conspiracy theorist, I would be thinking some crazy thoughts, right? I'd be thinking, does this have to do anything with aliens? Does this have to do with anything going on? What's going on? Could this be that a crash happened at Roswell in 1947 with aliens? And then, could they be, like they said, multi-dimensional, multiverse race? And could their engines somehow be taken apart and rebuilt by the United States government? And now we have the ability to move countries around and edit history and edit things? Could that be? Maybe that would make sense, right? Maybe that is what's going on. And maybe there was a Bruce Byron Lawrence as an ambassador in one multiverse, and we're seeing two of them show up as shadow copies in this multiverse. I don't know. Just a weird situation. I thought I'd bring it up. I thought I'd bring this up to you because this is, I see these things. I see these trends, and I'm like, what? How come nobody else is commenting on this, right? Bruce Byron Lawrence, same name, okay? It's not like I got the name wrong. That's what they said. And then they were trying to say in one news article, it said, yeah, those North Koreans, they just don't get the names right. So they keep calling the same people the same. No, that's not what happened. They have the same name. They're almost the same exact age, both in there. And the reason I bring up the whole Roswell thing is the second guy is saying he's under manipulation of the CIA. And as we all know, the CIA was created after Roswell, to deal with this whole situation. So this guy's saying he's under manipulation by the CIA. There's two guys, strangely enough, that came across the border, and aliens are supposed to be linked to the CIA with some kind of multi-dimensional technology. So to me, I put two and two and two together, and it kind of adds up a little weirdly, but I just thought I'd bring this up because this is mind-boggling. What do you guys think? Do you want to comment on it? I'm doing this live, so you could comment anything you want, and I'll talk about it. Otherwise, you could comment in the comment section. I won't keep you long. I know everybody has important things in their lives to do. And the heat just turned on in my house, and I'm getting super hot. Yes, very weird. It definitely is weird. I told you this was a weird one. Two guys named Bruce Byron Lawrence, both being apprehended, both on the border. What if tomorrow we watch the news, another American was detained named Bruce Byron Lawrence? What happens then? What happens if every year, almost to the day, another Bruce Byron Lawrence shows up on the border between North Korea and South Korea, discoherently saying that he's there to be a bridge and a gap and an ambassador, and he's under manipulation from the CIA, and he's very disorientated? What if that happens every day? What if that's every year around this date, right? Does that make sense? Does that sound like maybe they're sending somebody through the multiverse, and when he's going through, his brain's getting somehow scrambled a little bit? Maybe it's the same guy, and he just doesn't have the memory of what happened. And then maybe somehow he changed a little bit when he goes through from multiverse to multiverse, and he's ending up here. Maybe there's a bunch of Bruce Byron Lawrences bouncing around in different realities all showing up on the border and knocking on the door going, I'm on a mission. I can't remember why, but I have to bridge the gap between the countries. Both guys are saying the same thing, both separate. It's a freaky situation. So um, I don't know. I'd like some input from you guys. See what you think. I think you guys are some of the smartest guys out there. So if you have, and ladies, if you have some, and I meant that when I say guys, if you have some ideas, so what's going on? Could it be some kind of a multiverse engine that they have? I mean, it kind of makes sense if you think about it in a way. So the multiverse is touching, and then we're getting these kind of reactions. So there's a Bruce Byron Lawrence that keeps showing up. Yeah, I'm sorry, shaking. You can't make this stuff up. You can, but who would? Who would be crazy enough to make up a story like that? Okay, who would make up a story? Who would say Bruce Byron Lawrence would be on the border of North Korea year to the day within 2 days? I'm within 2 days. Within 2 days to the year. Maybe there's a side reel, calendar on one of these other Earths, and he's popping up on the same day a year later. Maybe he meant to pop up a year ago, and he popped up a year later from another multiverse. That's the only thing that even slightly makes sense with this situation. I mean, you can't ignore it, can you? Can you ignore it? I couldn't ignore it. I had to pick up my video phone and make a video about it. That's how come I can't ignore it. I wanted to talk to you guys about it. See what you think. I mean, I do spiritual, mentoring, distance healing. I'm a spiritual guy, and I think it's the truth, so I'm bringing you the truth. And I thought to talk to you about this. I have a website, victorhamza.com. If you want to go on there, support me. You could just send me cash. You could just ask for a distance healing. I do that too. I do a lot of mentoring. I try to help people all the time when I can. Let me know what you think. This one's fascinating, and it just boggles the mind. I'm looking at my notes when I look down. Excuse me from looking down, but just to go over it again. Bruce Byron Lawrence, November 14, 2017. He was on the border, North Korea and China. I keep saying border, North Korea and China. He was on the 58 years old from Louisiana. His name on his passport, Lawrence Bruce Byron. Before deportation, he knew a lot of people, he said, in the Trump organization, and he wanted to work as a bridge between North Korea and the United States. That's why I was there, and they said, gee, this guy's crazy. Today in the news, Bruce Byron Lawrence, totally separate individual, detained after crossing into North Korea on October 16th, talking about be released today, to the day. He's saying he's under manipulation of the CIA. He's giving incoherent testimony, and he says he could contribute in some way to North Korea. But they don't want him. They're probably quaking in their boots, like I said. They're like, what the heck is going on? They're probably saying to themselves, is Bruce Byron Lawrence like the name Smith? Is everybody named Bruce Byron Lawrence who's in the late 50s? Is that all the Americans? Maybe it doesn't ring a bell with them because they don't know how strange a name it really is. Being named after a fish finder rig to finding fish, okay, that gives off high sonar systems. Very strange stuff. You can't make this stuff up. I'm sure I'm missing something here, but I wanted to bring it to your attention and, just let you know that this is something that's really happened today. I noticed this stuff. I'm surprised no one in the news talked about it. Nobody anywhere talks about it. That's suspicious, right? Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Maybe I talked for too long, it's 25 minutes, but I wanted to go over this with you. Thanks so much. Like, subscribe, share. Let me know what you think. Love y'all. Peace. Bye bye.